They gon' find you. Hello everyone, Ryan here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new album from Bleachers titled Gone Now. Bleachers is the stage name for songwriter and producer Jack Antonoff, who is most famously known for being in the band Fun. Whatever happened to that band, I do not know. I was never really into them, but Jack Antonoff went solo and drifted away from that band and became quite a prolific songwriter for many other pop artists, and also created his own music under the name Bleachers. And like with Fun, I'm not all that too familiar with their music or Jack Antonoff's solo music, but I do know he's kind of become what I'd like to call a bit of a sleeping around songwriter, in the sense that he kind of like gets with every songwriter possible, with every artist, and writes their songs, so that's kind of the term I like to coin here. But with Bleachers as well, I'm not all that too familiar with them, except for the amazing song I Want to Get Better, which led off Bleachers, but I never really got into any other songs by Bleachers. It was only ever that song, and by God, if you've never heard that song, listen to it now, because it was one of the best songs of 2014, hands down. So, as I felt a little bit bad that I'd never really checked out any of Bleachers' music before, I thought it was only fair that I delved into this new sophomore album from him, and I've got to say, it's kind of come to mixed results, unfortunately. I can appreciate the earnest tone to his voice across most of this album. He does come across as very sincere as to what he's saying. You know, I can genuinely believe he feels the way he feels, because a lot of these songs are very much based on love, and I've just recently found out that he's in a relationship with Lena Dunham, who is one of the most insufferable people I've ever known. But that's got nothing to do with these songs at all. But I believe that these songs are mostly written about her, and you know, there is a lot of nice like songwriting on this album. I can appreciate most of it. To me, it does come across as a bit cutesy, nice guy type of stuff, which again isn't necessarily a negative thing. It's just this kind of brand of pop never really sits all that well with me, and it doesn't help that a lot of these instrumentals are really quite basic across this entire album, and they're quite bare at points as well. And you know, Jack Antonoff isn't a bad vocalist, but I think there's some kind of a like echo effect on his vocals where it's like it kind of sounds like it's in the background. It's not quite there at the front of the mix, and I think it just kind of pulls away from the tracks overall. But then again, there are a few great choruses that crop up every now and then, like Hate That You Know Me. I absolutely love the chorus on this one. It's probably the best song on the album. Sometimes I hate that you know me so well. It's really, really good. I think this is reaching almost the heights of like a track like I Want to Get Better, which had that same kind of amazing chorus that stuck out really well. And even Let's Get Married has quite a great chorus to it as well. It's quite bombastic in the way that it presents itself, but the problem is that it's really cliche. I mean, it's an optimistic anthem about how he wants to marry the girl he loves, presumably Lena Dunham, I imagine. But you know, this has been done plenty of times before. There's nothing really anything all that special to what he's doing here in comparison to what other artists have done in the past. And as I've already said, much of the instrumentals aren't that exciting either, so there isn't too much to take away from the rest of the songs. I mean, All My Heroes uses this skittery electronic instrumental, but it just grows old after a while. I mean, it goes over and over again, and the song does change up a bit, but I'm still not that all interested in the vocals at that point. And the worst vocals on this whole thing have got to be the closing track, which is a ruiner for the whole album, really, because it's just such an underwhelming end to an album. You should never end an album like this. I mean, the vocals are slathered in auto-tune, and it just comes across in the most unappealing way possible. I can't be dealing with this kind of singing at all. I can get behind some of the way these songs sound. I mean, there is that kind of like coming of age, like big like sound to these songs that I think a lot of people could be into, and I would recommend it based on that. But for me, I don't know, I'm just not really feeling it at all. I'm kind of meh on the whole thing. I'd have to say a D plus, which I think is kind of harsh in a sense, but this maybe just isn't for me. And there's just not enough here that sticks across the whole album that works all the way through. It's just a bit of an average release, honestly. But if you did like this album, let me know what you think, and also if you like this review, make sure you subscribe for more reviews, and also have a good day.